talk to the U.S. Postmaster. We can affect the change. We can get it done.
Okay, Curtis, on the internet it says 5100, not 5110.
For child care?
Child Care Development Center, 5100.
Of course, they're talking about in this building.
Well, and of course, they're going to start the new building this month.
All right, well, these would be issues that we need to get straightened out.
So the education building, that's 5110.
Next door, the child care facility.
Well, the child care.
If where they get their mail in an admin building, I don't know. This is just the address of the child care, but we can check with Sherry and see. And I'm sure, Curtis, between you and her, that you can work out what is what. And it may not be 5100 for us, but we can get that worked out.
We have 5100, at least those numbers are on the building right now, right outside our walkway.
Okay.
But we will work that out with the postmaster and with child care to make sure that there's no confusion or misdelivery.
Right.
But again, the goal of changing the address and having all of our mail come here, and this being the central point for mail and personal deliveries and those kinds of things, will be here at this building and get it out of the Wellness Center building.
Right. And go ahead, Benita.
One of the things that come to mind is as far as a cost to change the address. Do we have any like pre-printed forms, documents that would have to be changed as well that we would have to?
Like stationery or letterhead?
Yeah, our business cards, there's a lot of costs.
There will be some cost to conversion, yes.
Have we done an inventory of what those
No, we've
costs
not.
are?
But I know on like things that go out of accounting, they just print a sticker for the return address, and the envelopes are windowed. But it is stickers, not printed on the envelope.
May I suggest that, or may I ask you, Bonnie Jo, that you're bringing it up here at the table right now is kind of a advance notice of what we're going to do, and I was hoping that our two new administrative assistants would take that on as a task, given the direction of the tribal council, that that's what we want to accomplish, and work through all of these and have a checklist of things that can and need to be done and approximate a timeline, confirm with the postmaster down at downtown Bartlesville, or I'm sorry, over here at 006 or whatever. But then come back here, and then I would encourage the tribal council, either by voice vote or by resolution, to officially change the title. And we would have then a way of then reaching out to everyone from federal agencies all the way down to local vendors with a change of address notice and institutionalize, formalize this change. But I'm hoping that tonight it's just a discussion to give us a kind of a heads up that we're going in that direction, and without any objection from the council, I will take that and work.
To allow you to just run with it for now and then come back.
Yeah, I just would want to make sure that we did, cover all the bases.
Yes, ma'am.
Sure
Very good point.
Don't get halfway through and go, oh, well, this is going to cost us another, $100, $200 here and there just to change forms or whatever.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of things that are, bank accounts, printing costs. Yeah.
Right. But like I said, as far as I know, we don't have pre-printed stationery. Everything is done off the color printer, so that is a plus.
Is our address on our checks that we issue out, so that those need to be changed.
Yeah,
correct.
But you can always use up your last supply of checks.
Right.
So
right.
That wouldn't be a cost.
How much are we into that inventory? And,
right.
Yeah.
So if you could come back to us then with what you find out, and
we'll do that analysis and come back, and then with all of those factors in place, then if you're satisfied with proceeding, again, I would recommend you do it officially by some kind of action at the council table. But yes, we will have to bring a lot more information forward in order to gain your approval.
My question is this going to be limited to just that building, or are we talking about all of our offices? Including NAGPRA, including all offices that were spread out in?
Well, no, I think the outlying offices need to get their mail direct.
That's my question.
I mean, because some things are, there's a timeliness to it. And if it comes here first and then has to be sent, that could cause an issue.
For instance, the judges are officially headquartered at 601 High Street in Caney, Kansas, and so formally they do receive their mail there. Actually, I'm hoping soon they have an announcement about having administrative support through a court clerk, and their administrative presence takes hold a lot more in Caney. But as far as an official mailing address for the Delaware tribe, again, as our assistant chief has stated, I think that's the general direction that we want to head, because we won't be receiving mail down here. We won't have any administrative assistant down at this building, and I don't want to rely on important mail kind of filtering up by hope and chance.
Thank you, Curtis.
Thank you.
And may I continue while I have with a few announcements or issues to bring before? Real quickly, I just wanted to mention, Chief, as you know, last night the Coastal Preservation Committee met. Our discussion was on the Oversight Committee that is supposed to be over the NAGPRA and Historic Preservation Office. Right now we have 2 individuals from Tribal Council, that's Nikki and Annette. We have 2 individuals that were appointed last night from the Cultural Preservation Committee, that's John Sumter and Anita Mathis. And then I regret that we missed out on an opportunity yesterday when the Elders Committee had their meeting, but I would ask that the Tribal Council work with the Elders Committee and try to get a couple of representatives appointed to that Oversight Committee as soon as possible. But I would like to get some general direction from the Council right now that Bryce Obermeyer be directed to begin putting together the NAGPRA grant for the repatriation of the Chambers, the collection from the Chambers site that is, and I think I forwarded you his report, just as you have done with another grant. At a subsequent Tribal Council meeting, we're probably going to need a resolution to submit the NAGPRA grant, but if I could get some general direction from the Tribal Council tonight, that I can tell Bryce to at least get started on this NAGPRA grant. That's what I'm hoping to hear from you all.
Yeah, the deadline's around the corner.
Right.
March 17th, I think deadline.
Again, I mean, I think he needs to run with it. Yeah, it's 2 weeks from today is the deadline.
So we can get it done. It won't be for much, but I mean, that's more money to support this. And I've asked Bryce to then give some more details on how things are going with the development of a target time of June 2015 for a repatriation. We had some questions last night. Does that mean June of 2015 to secure control of the transfer from the museums? Or are you actually looking at doing a reburial in June of 2015? When it requires the Delaware Tribe, Delaware Nation, and Stockbridge Muncie to move forward at the same time on parallel paths, that's quite a challenge. And it does require the buy-in and the approval of the respective tribal leadership. Again, I'm hoping that is something, if you get a chance to go to Anadarko, kind of check out how they're handling it too. And I'm hoping that we're moving forward. I think we are at the staff level, but I'm asking Bryce to give us some more details and to characterize a little better how his workings with the 2 contacts at those 2 tribes are going along. And then a couple of other things I wanted to mention real quick, Chief. I sent out, at the direction of Nikki Michael, I sent out an email to Carl Rich with the Administration for Children and Families, which is over the child support grant. And we hadn't heard anything. We're like almost 6 months into the start of the grant year, and we still haven't received approval yet. Well, I wrote him a email late last week identifying Nikki as the primary contact for the agency, and I I just mentioned myself as a backup contact person for information. Mr. Rich wrote back and said, quote, "I look forward to working with your staff on a tribal child support grant." So that kind of language tells me that it still is in the works to happen. I think they were a little confused with the loss of the staff up there who to talk to. I'm not sure why they were confused, since we do have an office of the chief. Nonetheless, our council secretary has been designated as the primary contact. I gave that detailed information, copied you on that. And so I'm hoping we hear a little more information soon.
Yeah, I've talked to him as well. Everybody's notified and we're just all waiting anxiously.
And, you know, just because certain individuals are no longer employed with us doesn't mean we can't pick up the grant as soon as we get it approved and move forward with it.
Absolutely.
Last but not least, I did send you all a heads up about an invitation from the Tulsa Oilers Hockey Club down in Tulsa. There's going to have a Native American Heritage Night on Sunday, March 15th. They offered us, as they're doing with all the tribes, an opportunity to set up a booth for $250 to promote your tribe, your tribal businesses or casinos or whatever is out there. And the booth space costs $250. You get 25 tickets and some other perks that go with it. I don't know if anybody wants to pick that up and be in charge of that and make it happen, and then we have to come up with $250. But I did want to bring it to your attention.
What does the 250? What does the 250 get us?
It's a booth that you set up in the concourse to promote whatever it is you want to promote. And then you get 25 tickets to hand out to your people to go with it. You know, we may not be ready for that yet, but they do want to do a special Native American Heritage Night to promote hockey. So
okay, I'm just not sure what we would go promote.
Yeah.
We don't have to do anything
We're
at
not-
all, do we?
Right, no, you can go buy a ticket and go as part of Native American night.
Well, I meant, we don't have to respond to him and let him know exactly what we're gonna do. Was it just a blanket invitation to the whole Indian world?
Well, I can't confirm that. I mean, the guy did call and email me in particular. I kind of think he is doing that with all of the tribes to get as many, to build up their Native American Heritage Night. I bet you people like Osage Casino and others have plenty to promote at a booth.
Exactly.
We may not be ready just yet.
Right. I don't think we are, but I don't think we have to respond to that unless we're going to have a booth.
Right.
Most of those booth invitations, you only respond if you're interested or if you want to buy a block of tickets separately from having a booth.
And if that's the case, then there is a $6 discount, so tickets are only $14, and they play the Brampton Beasts from Canada. So there you go. I think those are the only issues I wanted to bring up to the council tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Curtis. But Nita, I think
I just have my hand up.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. I hope that maybe you would give us a directive so that elder nutrition people would know a standard rule if the Bartlesville schools are closed, that there will not be lunch served.
Yeah, Mary came to me today and asked about that because, and to me, if Bartlesville schools are closed, we should not have our elders out. I have a problem with us closing the offices. Most businesses, because the schools are closed, they don't close. And people say, well, people have kids in daycare. Well, don't you think the other 15,000 people that work in this town have the same issues? I would say that, I would recommend that if the schools are closed for bad weather, we close the nutrition program, but our offices remain open. That's just my feeling.
I agree with at least closing the nutrition program.
Yeah, I mean, we don't.
So when we hear on the radio the Bartlesville schools are closed, we know
No nutrition.
Right.
no nutrition.
Right.
Stay home, do your own cooking.
Well, they're making me starve, so.
Yeah, she can't eat in San Diego, so. So I don't know. That's something we need to talk about. But I would think for now you're right. If the schools are closed, just assume the nutrition's closed. And I think before the next winter, we probably need to look at our policy on the offices. I doubt we're gonna have any more issue with that. So I think before next November, maybe we need to deal with that.
Well, I hope we have no more issue with it this year. This late winter, I should say.
Speaking of that,
Although it's supposed to snow tonight, I
It's-
heard
yeah.
a couple of days ago.
And we have a grant writing workshop tomorrow. And so there we go again
yeah.
with tribal business.
Well, right, and I'm thinking if Chet and I can slide down Highway 75 from the airport to Bartlesville, people can make it to work. Just saying.
So I just wanted to remind everybody about the meeting tomorrow. And I believe we made it at 10.
10 o'clock, right here.
The grant writing. Because we need to do something with our tribe. We've got to make some decisions. We've got to start applying. We're gonna have to figure out how we're gonna pay people to do it, and how we're gonna prioritize them. Yeah, given the weather.
Yeah, we put a cell phone right here.
Well, we can meet in my office. Anybody that can't make it, we'll get them on a conference call.
Yeah.
Benita, I think the personnel committee has a recommendation about a tribal minimum wage.
That's correct. In reviewing personnel policies, the personnel committee had noted that the tribe really doesn't have a minimum wage established, and it was recommended that the tribe set a minimum wage for the employees at $8.50 an hour. And just wanted to bring that to the council. And
What's the state, do you know?
federal is
Or federal?
$7.50.
Okay, okay, I just wanted to make sure it was,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay, yeah. I'm good with it.
Would a council member care to make a motion to accept this recommendation of the personnel committee?
I would make such a motion to accept the recommendation of the personnel committee that the minimum wage for tribal employees be set at $8.50 an hour.
I'll second that motion.
The motion been made and seconded. And do I hear further discussion?
Call for question.
Question in the call. All in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Chief, may I ask a question to clarify the action you just took? Will that be institutionalized now in the personnel policies? That's where we will place this?
Certainly. Do I hear further new business?
What would you say? Make a motion to go into executive session.
Motion.
I'll second.
Motion been made and seconded.
Won't take
Go
long.
into executive session.
It's 6:35.
At 6:35.
6:35.
What's 10 minutes. Okay.
Call the meeting back to order at 7:02 p.m. and don't believe there is any action to
Well,
be taken.
I do want to make a motion that we, besides going with the Examiner Enterprise, that if using Tim Hudson for layout and PDR is less than what, we can do that. And with the money we save on the paper and Greg, that we go with Tim, because he can write the front page and all of that. So Jean's going to get me some cost in the morning, and I will let you all know tomorrow, because we're going to have to let Tim know so he can write or let Greg know. So if it's less, I'm making the motion. If it's less, we go with it, local.
Do I hear a second to that motion?
Oh, I'll second.
I'll second.
I hear 2 seconds to that motion.
Second.
Discussion. If there's no discussion, all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I make a motion, we adjourn. Oh, wait, no, Nikki's got something to say.
No, we have to reschedule the grant writing workshop, and it needs to go somewhere next week or the following week.
Oh.
So what is,
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we've got HICE.
so the following week?
How would the Wednesday following council meeting work for everyone?
The day after council meeting, it's 18th.
Now, don't forget.
No, I won't.
We have
Send him emails.
See, I can
Give-
get the 18th,
do-
because I have
Oh.
doctor's appointment 18th.
Well, how about the day before, on the 16th?
That's perfect.
Would that work, Nikki? It's a Monday.
I could do that.
Michelle?
That works fine with me as far as I know.
Anybody else?
And I will.
I'd simply like to ask a question. Is that early enough to resolve our grant
Well,
problem?
I think the two that are due the 17th we assign those to people.
Yeah, no, this is not going to solve it all. It's going to get us at least started down a path.
Okay.
This is gonna be during the day.
What time could you do it?
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
Okay, well,
If not, closer to a lunch break hour,
At noon, working session?
11, a working lunch,
11 o'clock.
11 to 1.
I can
We
do
could get
that.
lunch and take it in the chief's office.
Yeah, that would be really
Would that
nice.
work?
That's perfect.
I'll make a motion, we have a grant writing workshop on the 16th of March from 11 to 1 in Chief Brooks' office.
I'll second it.
I've got a motion and a second to have a grant writing. I think the word workshop was used.
Well,
Would you consider changing?
I will change
word
that.
to meeting?
meeting, but we can leave the door open.
Yeah, all our meetings are open,
Right.
regardless.
Your door will be unlocked, anybody can walk in, so.
So this is open to anybody that would
If one
like
of the
to
judges
attend.
want to come.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Charles, the judges, if you want to come sit in on it, that's fine.
And participate. I mean, what we're doing is
Right.
trying to figure out how we're going to proceed. You know, we've got staff that need to be writing grants or get them written for them, or, you know, we
And
got
maybe-
courts,
yeah.
or, you know, possibly bringing in outside, how this all works. And I've been doing it with other tribes for 20 years, so I can present cases by cases.
But I think by having some outside people, if they do come in, they may give us other ideas or suggestions, you know, that we can use. So we certainly don't want it to be a closed meeting. Ron's got his hand up, Chief.
Ron?
Will there be sandwiches?
No, I'm sorry.
Bring them.
Alan was sick, and I ran out of peanut butter and jelly,
Well,
so.
wait a minute, we're gonna, you're talking about tonight.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the meeting about grants on Monday the 16th. The rumpy sandwiches at that meeting.
let the judges know that that's going to.
Right, and we can always move it downstairs if we need to, you know, if, we may have to move it downstairs.
It'd be great to have more participation.
Yeah.
The more input, the better.
Let's just go ahead and set it up for downstairs. Why don't we? I'll amend my motion to say instead of Chief Brooks' office, to the downstairs conference room. Okay? That way it'll hold more people, I think.
So are we having kind of a little symposium?
It's just a meeting.
Just
To come up with-
information exchange, Nikki, do you want to elaborate a little bit?
Well, I teach these courses, so I'm going to shorten version it and we can figure out how we can apply this to the tribe. So whatever process we want to come up with, I'll have that information ready in front of you. Apply what the basic tools are, about the basics of grant writing, how other tribes are doing it, and then
This is
we
just
can.
informational, is what you're saying.
Well, no, we need to make some decisions too. So, but everybody needs to have that
I
information.
know, but it's information so we can make decisions on it.
There you go.
Then we can make that decision.
We're not gonna be right.
Absolutely.
Right, and if we're having it the 16th, then we can vote on anything the next evening at the meeting. So we'll do no voting, but the public, I mean, Nikki, if you'll put it on Facebook and get it on the website, then people will know. And also, please get your articles in. Anybody that didn't get one in on time last time, Chief Brooks.
March 15th, 5 p.m.
And it's a Sunday.
Sunday.
It's a Sunday.
A firm deadline, and I think we're probably gonna do the same thing as we have done. If it's not there by the 15th,
At 5.
it won't be published.
Right.
It's as simple as that.
Yep.
Did we vote on that last thing?
We haven't.
We have not, okay.
Did I made the motion, but I don't know if there was a second.
There was a second, although I don't know if that was before
No,
or after
this-
the amendment.
That was the last, that was on the Tim Hudson thing.
That's the one I had.
This is on the having the meeting,
Okay.
and I made the motion, and just, I changed it where it'll say the downstairs meeting room instead of your office.
Do I hear a second to that?
I'll second the motion.
If no further discussion, all in favor of the motion to have the meeting downstairs in the social services building from 11 o'clock till 1 on Monday, March the 16th, please say aye.
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 Opposed?
And I'll make something up, post on the building here too, Nikki, if you'll get it on the website and Facebook. I can post something on the door.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
That's all.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion been made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, please say aye.
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 At 7:11.
7:11.
7-11. 7-11.